Test, 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 test.
Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and start our open session at 6:34. Call the meeting to order. Roll call. Everyone's here. Dave, Luke is gone, excused, and Josh as well. All board members are here. Attest of publication.
I saw it posted.
Thank you, Joni. Approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Joni, seconded by Tina to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. District mission, vision, and values. Jessica?
Okay. Bangor Pride, a small school building big futures, vision, an innovative small school community committed to building pathways of excellence and belonging for all, values student-centered, safety, opportunities for all, small class sizes, fiscally sustainable, foster community, continuous improvement, and collaboration. And can I drop down to as a member? Okay, good. As a member of the Bangor School Board, I will be an active listener who is open-minded, respectful, and inquisitive. Together with one collective voice, we are committed to forward thinking while strategically prioritizing for our students, staff, community now and into the future.
Thank you, Jessica. Public comment. Moving on, approval of the minutes from June 10th.
I'll make a motion to approve the June 10th, 2026 minutes.
I'll second.
Motion by Lisa, seconded by Shelley. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. No special reports. Board President plans to set the date and the time for our annual budget hearing and then our annual meeting. We're looking at October 21st at 6 p.m. for both. We will have the budget meeting first, and then the annual meeting, and then a special board meeting. Wednesday, October 21st at 6 p.m. Any questions? Does that work? If it works for everyone, I'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion to set the date of the budget hearing, annual meeting, and special board meeting for October 21st, 2026 at 6 p.m.
I'll second.
Motion by Joni, seconded by Jessica. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Policy Committee will meet next week, July 16th, 5:15.
Are those out there already, David? Okay, thank you.
All right, financial documents.
I had a couple questions, and I think one led to, I think in August, I'm going to plan to do just a financial documents, monthly financial reports 101, just as a reminder of this is how to read those and what to look at and those types of things. It just as a, anything that else that pops up so you guys can fully look at those. I think the biggest question was the HRA deposit. That's the teachers, $1,000 per teacher at the end of the year that goes to their health retirement account. So that was one that flagged a second look. So if there are no other questions about the financials this month, we'll look for approval.
Can I ask a quick question on the financial report?
Yep.
Now that I have it in front of me again. So the negative 173,131. So that's literally about what we had to pass along for the vouchers. It says WPCP/RPCP state general aid reduction.
Yes.
And then, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So when we were talking a couple months ago about making that transparent, that number has grown.
We talked about the net
Okay.
because we have the ins and the outs.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that doesn't necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay.
Yep.
And then one quick question on the activity account report, just as a reminder to myself, do we have a threshold as to what we will let them go negative, or do we have a timeline? I mean, do we make it more of a timeline to get to zero?
Yeah, we're trying to get those done. The one that's probably the furthest off right now is the music department, and we believe that we're missing a deposit that was deposited and didn't get coded correctly.
Okay.
So we know one or two of the deposits on that. So I'm working with the music department on getting that one rectified. But no, our goal is to keep them very close to zero.
Okay.
Or above. Yep.
There's no other questions. I'll make a motion to approve the financials as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Joni, seconded by Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. District reports, none. District action agenda, staff laptop purchase.
Yeah, so we purchase our MacBooks about every 5 years for all of the teaching staff and administrative staff. And unfortunately, like the cost of everything, the cost has gone up for about the same number of laptops, even went up in the last month or so. And you don't pay the price until the day they deliver. So even though we had a bid before this of a little bit less, they went up after that. So we have financed this in the past, and we can arrange it so there's interest free, but the pricing is slightly different when you go to the interest free, because there's no real free anything. So we feel we can handle the one time purchase of $99,820 for these laptops for the next 5 years. So that's what I have on the agenda to approve for the year.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the 80 new MacBooks for the district staff directly from Apple at a cost of $99,820.
I'll second.
Motion by Shelley, seconded by Jessica. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Can I
Motion-
ask one question, Julie? Go ahead. All in favor. Do they come with like a plan, like a insurance plan or a recovery or like a
It is 1 year.
1 year?
Oh, yeah.
And how many have you had major issues with in 5?
Hardly any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. they're-
Especially in the 1 year, they'll have any problems. So,
I didn't figure we did, but just to make sure that they're like when you get them, you're getting 70. So like if you had just one that was,
11.
yeah.
I haven't had any issues hardly at all in the past.
Okay. Motion by Shelley, seconded by Jessica. All in favor regarding the staff laptop purchase?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Motion carried. All right. Addition of section of R4K at the Bangor Elementary School.
Yeah, so we have been monitoring this. I would say 2 months ago we had a conversation, and I really did not think we were going to need to get to this fourth section. We've had about 10 folks in the last, or 10 students add that are district residents in the last month or so. We have a couple of situations that are very probable that the kids will be there, but we're not counting them yet. With that, we have registration paperwork confirmed, have spoken with 45 students or 45 families. That's probably closer to the 47. There are 5 of those open enrollments that were approved early in the process. They're siblings, so they're keeping the family together type thing. We have 7 open enrollment students on a wait list that I'm not saying we are approving those if we move forward with this, but they are there. One of the area schools that some of the kids have that are residents that have applied out to go to is starting to turn people away. So there is a chance that some of those applicants out could turn and come back to the district. So we just don't know. There's a lot of questions, but what is pretty clear right now is we are going to be over that 10-to-1 ratio that we're aiming for. So usually we have a classroom teacher and a para with 20 kids. What we would like to do is what we did 2 years ago. We would like to hire another classroom teacher. We would have one section that would have a max of 10 optimally there, and then the no para, and then the 2 sections that would run as normal with about that 20 or 18, 19, whatever they run at there, and have the ratio of the 10-to-1 there. If numbers go way more and we've got more showing up, then you're adding a para late instead of adding a teacher. The way that I have this written in here is this would allow us to post, and we would be able to, interview hire. We have till next month then hopefully to have somebody in place. We can monitor those numbers. We can confirm with some of those on the wait list, you know, all of those types of things, what their intentions are, have more clarity, and hopefully have a candidate ready for you to approve at the August meeting would be the hope. So not making the hire tonight, not spending the money, but I think preparing us that if those numbers stay and hold as we're predicting, we would need a third section there. So looking for a motion to create that additional section of 4K at this point in time.
I'll make a motion to approve the creation of an additional section of 4K for the 26-27 school year.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Lisa, seconded by Shelley. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I am just going to share that I think this is a really good time. We have the opportunity to start looking at that 5-day 4K. Because I look at 4K as a welcome to the Bangor School District. So I think these small numbers are really important. But I also think that the 5-day 4K is an important thing that we really need to start investigating as well.
Yeah.
And put some work into finding out where we're at, what's our next step. Because I know there will be changes.
Yeah.
Within
Seems like
that.
just yesterday we were just going to all day 4K.
Yeah.
And now we're moving to,
Yeah, I agree. I think I appreciate that. I think you know, we looked at that last year and it felt like it was going to be really rushed and we weren't going to be able to do it well. I think having a full year with Dave having his feet under him in that position, we'll definitely be able to look at that more closely this year and be ready to bring it to you early enough and plan for that in advance. So thank you.
Yeah, well, I just hear from parents that have upcoming 4Kers and people that have had 4K, and that one day can be an issue with daycare and stability for their child, and I'm sure there's research that supports that as well. So, thank you. Okay, all right. So next personnel. Dr. Brockup, I'll let you get started with that.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll here. Unfortunately, we had a resignation in special education. We were out there early, got this application or got the posting out there, hired Julia Sturbin. Really excited about having her come on board. She found a different position, paid a little bit better, and decided not to come to us, so has resigned from that position. So I'm looking for approval to accept that resignation from a position she actually never served in. So, thank you.
I'll move to approve the resignation of Julia Sturbin from her anticipated role of special education teacher at BES.
I'll second.
Motion by Joni, seconded by Jessica. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Hire the bus driver.
Yeah, we had Diane reach out to us this spring. She has been a driver in the Mosinee School District for the past few years and enjoys doing it, is moving here closer to grandchildren that go to the school district and would love to drive for us. We had the position that Mark's vacancy from last year that we covered with 2 subs basically all year. So we were able to get her into this full-time position. So looking for approval to hire Diane Borchert as bus driver for 26-27 school year.
I'll make a motion to approve and hire Diane Borchert, is that correct? As bus driver for the 26-27 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jessica, seconded by Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Hire building custodian.
Yeah, so we have 2 of these here, and we are at full staff right now, which is a really good place to be. Had a number of applicants, but we were lucky enough to interview Holly Barth, coming to us out of Iowa, just moved to the area, really good history of cleaning and those types of things, history in schools, has done a great job, impressed the team, has been working with us here for a few weeks, and is a good fit with the crew. So looking to approve the hire of Holly Barth effective June 15th of 2026.
I'll make the motion to approve the hire of Holly Barth as a building custodian effective June 15th.
Second.
Motion by Shelley, seconded by Joni. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Yeah, and Holly will be in that elementary night position once school starts. Seth Kenyon, our next candidate here, actually filled in as part of that in that combination that we did kind of at the end of the year to get through the year. Did a great job. Teachers were really pleased with the work that he did. We were really pleased with his work ethic. And we are going to put him on middle school nights, and then he'll help with some of the cleanup after athletic events and all of those types of things. We look forward to having his attention to detail and hard work in that position. So looking for the approval of Seth Kenyon, effective June 15th as well.
I'll make a motion to approve the hire of Seth Kenyon effective June 15th, 2026 as building custodian.
A second.
Motion by Kelly, seconded by Lisa. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Elementary school counselor.
Yeah, so elementary school team got together a team and interviewed, I believe, 3 candidates for the elementary school counselor position. Catherine Russell, Kate, as she goes by, was the clear front runner of that pool. 20 years of teaching experience and been in a classroom. So the time that she's teaching guidance, we really look forward to that. And then has gone back to school, got her counselor's degree, and spent 1 year as a school counselor in Wisconsin Dells prior to this. So we are excited to have Kate join us and looking to approve her hire for the 26-27 school year.
I'll make a motion to approve the hire of Catherine Russell as the elementary school guidance counselor.
I'll
I'll second.
second. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Motion made by Shelley, seconded by Lisa. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Buildings and grounds supervisor.
I think we all know that waiting and being patient for the right time and the right fit, it pays off. And I am really excited to bring to you Ryan Schrader as our new building and grounds supervisor. Parent, his youngest just graduated this past year, Bangor alum, has 20 plus years of experience in his last job working on HVAC equipment, which I think is one of the biggest areas that he'll work on here. He has coached with us and just is excited to give back to the community that he grew up in and graduated from, and it just feels like a really good fit. So he started yesterday, and we are excited to have him on board. So looking for approval of Ryan Schrader effective July 7th.
I'll make a motion to approve the Buildings and Grounds Supervisor, Ryan Schrader, effective July 7th, 2026.
Second.
Motion by Tina, seconded by Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Gina will
Motion-
abstain.
Motion carried. Thank you.
All right. And last in the hires there is the hire of our 612 athletic director. So I'm bringing to you the Shane Schmaling, who was the girls basketball coach here for a few years ago, coached at least one board member here, led the team to its first state title in 95, I believe. Is that correct?
96.
96.
97.
Okay, 97. Okay.
97.
97. I apologize.
97.
But obviously, some history here in the community, and just a real passion for high school athletics. Stood out to the interview committee for that passion, and we will look forward to having Shane Schmaling join us as our athletic director for the 26-27 school year.
I'll make a motion to approve the hire of Shane Schmaling as our 612 athletic director for the upcoming 26-27 school year.
I'll second that.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Shelley? I'll take Shelley. Motion by Joni, seconded by Shelley. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, everyone. Administrative reports. Josh will report at our next August meeting, as will Dave Luke. So, Mr. Wolpat, you're up.
Good evening. I figured tonight I'd share with you, June 24th and 25th, our guiding coalition got together and we did a data dig. So I kind of figured tonight would be a good opportunity to give you some insight in terms of what we actually did over the course of 2 days. If you remember, one of the things we talked about when we restructured those teams was that this summer we would get together for 3 days. So 2 half days and then 1 full day. So the 24th and 25th were 3 hours. One of the things that we did right away is we looked at our school report card and really kind of honed in terms of how we did over the past 5 years, how we're doing currently right now. Is it kind of weird that I'm on this side and not the other side?
It is.
But it's all good. But it was interesting to have the teachers be a part of that conversation in terms of, okay, where have the trends been going? And then one of the questions that they asked, I think this is really, really important, especially for you to know, is okay, how have we compared over the past 5 years to, say, the other schools in our conference? And so when you took and you looked at, say, the other schools in terms of, okay, who was the first and second, third, fourth place, et cetera, over the 5 years, you could then see exactly where we fell. And so basically we were in the middle of the pack 5 years ago, and then we've kind of slowly dipped from there. But the thing that is the most important, and I think this is the part that I really want to stress, is that between 5 years ago and now, overall, the scores have dropped 10 points among all the schools. So it's not even just like we've taken a little bit of a dive, but we've all taken this dive. And the only way you would have seen that is, of course, to take those numbers and to compare and to look at them. The other part that we took is we looked at in terms of how do our students perform when it's annual growth. Because the thing with the school report card is it's a 3-year average. So it's one of those things where when I talked to you about it earlier this year was, we're going to have to try to move the needle. Like, it's going to take a while to make those numbers change. But when we looked even like 5 years ago where our students were performing towards now, it highlights a few things that we have to work on. In addition to that, we looked at the subgroups, because this is one of those things where, you look at the information and the data from the school report card, it's a lot. But really the question is, what does it tell us? What does it mean for us? And one of the things that we did when we looked at the subgroups was we were able to compare how they did in the last year to this year. And if the trend line is going down, it tells us that we have to look at what's called universal instruction. It's tier 1. It's basically when the teacher does the lesson, does 80% or more of the students get it? So like the core instruction that's going on daily, if your scores are declining, that's where you need to look. If our scores are stable, then it's about looking at those subgroups. Okay, so we want to then beef up those subgroups. If our scores are going up, then that's where we want to celebrate, and then we can really get nitpicky. But at least it gave us something to look at and then to start asking a lot of questions, because we were noticing that in many cases there are a lot of trends that are going down. So again, this year then, as we look and we're going to decide in the August meeting, what does PD look like? Tier 1 universal instruction, that's the key for us. We need to really hone in on that. One of the things that we talked about with that was universal student achievement. So it's really, when we talk about all students, we mean all students doing well, because we don't want to leave anyone aside, because when we look at the data and they break it down, we want to make sure that all of those scores are going up, that we're not leaving anyone behind. There's 2 parts to the other part then that I want to talk about too that we looked at was then the yearly data. So we looked at our forward exam, our pre-ACT for 9th and 10th grade, and then our ACT scores. And again, we looked at it this past year, we looked at it over 5 years just to see if there are trends. And again, the question is, where are we growing and where do we need to work on things? And the good news is within those like yearly assessments, there's a lot of areas where we're doing really well. And so then again, it's asking those questions of, okay, if we're doing well on those assessments, and then the kids get to junior year and they're taking the ACT and the scores aren't where we want them to be, why is that? And we all know too that the school report card is based off of those ACT scores as well. So again, it's just honing in on what can we do again throughout the school year to try to move the needle. So what I was going to say is there's 2 parts to do that. One is, of course, supporting our staff and students around that standardized testing. What are we doing as staff to help them with that approach? And one of those aspects is, we do right before the students do the ACT test in their junior year in the spring, we do a workshop. But one of the things that we did this year is we surveyed freshmen and sophomores after they took the pre-ACT. All right, how do you think you did? And did you take it seriously? And did you understand it? And it was clearly no. But we didn't really front load them either at the same time. So it's a learning curve for us. So we've got work to do on that end. One of the things that we hear sometimes is like, well, juniors, if they're not going to college, they're not going to take the ACT serious. But the survey that we gave them showed that, yeah, actually they do take it seriously and they want to do well. So we know that our students they have good intentions. Again, it's what can we do to best prepare them right out of 8th grade, coming in as freshmen to take these exams and be successful. And then that other aspect of it is just that the support of the Tier 1 universal instruction. How do we ensure that all of our students are achieving at high levels every time? One of the things that we decided to do right at the end of that second day was do a book study as a group and called Time for Change. And Anthony Mohammed, one of the authors of this book, he's a PLC guru. So really this is all things PLC, and it really is going to give us some insight in terms of what do we as the leadership group within the school, how do we work with our staff to help them within that PLC process to ensure that, if you remember those 4 questions of what do we want students to learn and how do we know, that again, that universal instruction is successful. And so on August 13th, our game plan at this point is to really detail out the professional development that's going to take place throughout the entire school year, and then identifying those system changes that need to happen for us to be able to make that all take place. So I'll keep you updated as August comes around, and I think it was really good, for staff to see that data and be a part of those conversations as we move forward. And my sense walking away was there's a lot of ownership and there's a lot of pride in this school, and they want students to do well. It's just that question of again, how do we move the needle? That's all it is, just how do we move the needle?
I'm really excited to hear this, and I'm really hoping that there is a chance. I mean, obviously, the audience is different, but I'm hoping you can give us kind of I don't want to say dumbed down, but at our level discussion, because I think it's important for us as board members to own those scores too. Mm-hmm. And we all know, we understand that the metrics change. The school report card is not the same from year to year, and it makes it hard. It makes it a moving target. But the better we can understand it, the better we can champion it as well.
Yeah, correct.
So we would love to get some
for
sort
sure.
of a report.
Because, like I said, there are some things that we're doing great and our students are excelling at, and we want to champion that. And then there are other areas that we just got to ask questions about. It's not bad or anything. It's just how do we get better?
Right.
Well, thank you for sharing the work that you're doing, and I agree with Joni. The more we know, the more we can share with our constituents and our parents and our students. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Brockup.
Yeah, I've got different kind of news. So Angie and I have signed up for the Baird forecast model that we will be working through this year. And what that means is it's time to really start looking at that 3-year non-recurring referendum. So the first step will be in November. Angie and I will attend a workshop and we'll get our model and start to put in some of the specific numbers to start to lay out what that next 5 years look like. And we will continue to have many conversations on that over the next few years. And the reality is we would begin the planning or deciding if we need to go back to another operational referendum in the fall of 27. Ultimately making that decision in the summer of 27. And then, if that didn't work and we needed it, we could still come back in the spring of 28 and function for the 28-29 school year. So just the reality of where we are, it seems like we just finished that on so many levels. But we want to start laying that groundwork and really make sure we have a good picture of where we're running and have a plan for the next few years. So just kind of giving you an update on that. I really appreciate. I got a chance to be, pop in on both groups on their those days that they had the retreats, and it's tough confronting the facts sometime when they're not the facts that you want. You want to just celebrate because we're all working so dang hard. But the conversations were awesome, not defeated, but like we can learn from this and we can get better because of this. So I just commend both principals on their leadership for the work that they're doing there, and the staff for accepting the reality and knowing what they need to do to take steps forward. So we're on the right path there. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, removal of items from the consent agenda. There's 2 items, current openings, which are listed, and then the elementary school handbook that was available to us online. Those are the 2 consent agenda.
If there are no questions, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Shelley, seconded by Kelly to accept the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So we do need to go back to closed session to continue our evaluation process for Dr. Brockup. So I need a motion and a second, and then we'll need to do a roll call vote, and we'll start that with Joni. So first I need a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn to closed session.
Second.
Who is that? Tina? Oh, Joni.
And then I'll-
Motion by Shelley, seconded by Joni. Roll call vote. Joni?
Aye.
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 All right, thank you.